Good morning, folks. I'm here to review and assess a brand new, excuse me, forgot to take the tuner off. A brand new AMI with Grover open tuners. Look at this thing. Huh. Now, on the video, I can see that that's just coming up as a reflection. But it's pretty in real life. Very dark. Sunburst finish. I hadn't even taken the pick guard cover off of it yet. I want to do this while it's fresh in my mind. This is an AMI JM-AG45. It's a J45 knockoff. It's allegedly a North American version of a Sigma, which has a good reputation in the UK and Europe, but you can't get them over here without extravagant shipping costs or price tags. I started watching this on Reverb because it was the least expensive one, and they did a price drop on it. Woo! I jumped on it. But now let me say, this is where my first issue comes in. I was watching it because the tuners pictured were nickel. And as you can see, these ain't. When I got the guitar, I was disappointed, disillusioned. But they're Grover tuners, so they do work good. They're smooth. And it had Diodario EJ16 strings on it, which I detest, which is nothing to do with the retailer I got it from, but not having the nickel tuners is the fault of Tulsa Banding Equipment. They apologized, of course, when I messaged them, but that doesn't make them nickel tuners. Doesn't change my opinion about that at all. The guitar itself, man, it sounds, to me, it sounds great. Now, I put Martin Monell 1152 strings on it because I'm prone to do that, since I don't like the Diodario. And it was either that or Labella Silk and Steel. And this being rather dark sounding anyway, listen to that low E. Man. Whew. Love this thing. Love the sound of it. Love the sound of it. But let me give a little background as to why I got this. Back in December, I went to a small venue concert. There was a young man there, opening act by the name of Cannon Brand. We were in Tomball, Texas, and he played a J45, a Gibson J45 on stage, and that began my lusting for the sound of the J45. But I could not, under any circumstances, unless I won the lottery, and then I'd still debate about spending the kind of money Gibson wants on one of those things. Anyway, that began my query into J45s. And when I get hold of something like that, I just can't let it go. So when this one came up, it was the least expensive one offered on Reverb, and they did a price drop on it. I jumped on it. Now, first off, UPS typically delivers stuff to me between 11 and 1:30. Well, this sucker didn't get here till 4:30. Man, you know, when you're pacing the floor waiting on something, you know, a Potchwat Beverly Oils, you know, that sort of thing, it was really aggravating. Anyway, I finally got one. And when I got it, the action on the guitar was extremely high. Good Lord. So I wound up sanding the bone saddle down 15 thousandths. That's how much I had to take off of it to get the action down to livable. And the saddle was loose. When I first played it, as soon as I took it out of the box and got it tuned up, the D string rattled. Well, it don't rattle now because I made a saddle for the saddle out of 2 strips of tinfoil. And that tightened it up. The fit and finish on this thing is wonderful. It's awesome, superb, yada, yada, yada. But the quality control checkers, I don't know, maybe it was put together on Monday, I don't know. But I had to hammer the low E pin out from underneath. I had to hammer it out. I have a metal tool to lift the pins. That didn't work. And you know, you lift them up a little bit if you have a little trouble when it's loose and you poke the string further down in there. The string wouldn't move. I had to literally hammer the low E pin out. Oh man. So anyway, I massaged that after I got the new strings ready. I laid the string, the low E, into the pin groove, and it would not seat into the groove at the ball. It's like, really? So I took sandpaper and pocket knife to it and got to where it would. Here again, quality control checker on the pins and the assembler of the guitar did a lousy job. There's no way around it. I'm old school, and paying attention to detail is what wins races. Well, they lost the race. I'll tell you that right now, because the detail of something that simple being overlooked is just unacceptable. Now, if you decide to buy one of these, your mileage may vary. That's quite possible. I'm giving you my circumstances assessment of everything about this sucker, because I really wanted this guitar, because it does sound good now. That I'm not disappointed in. But having to work so hard to get to this point is just totally uncalled for, in my opinion. And you lay that on top of the disappointment of the tuners not being what were pictured, my frustration level is hard to deal with. And I'm a patient old guy most of the time. you know, age teaches you patience. And they call it being a virtuous, but I don't claim to be virtuous. I'm extremely disappointed in the quality control, and it's still a bit hard to fret for me. I'm not really sure why, but I've had trouble with the F shape, getting those two strings to sound clear, the E and the B. Here again, your mileage may vary. The setup is literally perfect now at 764s. I'm probably going to wind up putting lighter gauge strings on it or lower tension strings. I do have some Martin flex cord strings coming, and I do have some labella silk and steel, both of which are low tension strings. But I kind of don't want to put those on here because, man, that low E vibrates in your chest. So does the A, and so does the D. And I love that. Oh, it's got low end drive and sustain, which I was looking for. I can't complain about the sound at all. But what I wound up doing, I was still having a hard time fretting this thing. It has an 1 3/4 nut, which I have two other guitars with the 1 3/4 nut, a Martin 0015 and an Ardenwood Ava. And I don't have a problem with them. They're a little different because most of the nuts on the guitars I have are 1 11/16. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time fretting this thing. And I still hadn't figured out why. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But don't that sound pretty? It has good sustain. And that vibration in my chest is, woo, lordy, lordy, lordy. I do love the sound of this sucker. And I hope it serves me well. And should you decide to get one, I hope you don't have the issues, the frustrating issues that I dealt with. I will say that it was packaged well in 2 boxes when it got here with lots of bubble wrap, and it was well protected. But I was disappointed in the tuners not being what was pictured, and I was disappointed, frustrated, upset that UPS of all days decided to show up 3 hours later than they usually do. So that may have some bearing on it, but I don't like D'Addario strings to begin with, especially the EJ16s. They were so tarnished, they were orange. They weren't even brass colored, they were orange. They sounded okay, but still, everybody and his brother in the guitar industry puts D'Addario EJ16s on their guitar, and for the life of me, I don't know why. There are a lot better string choices available in this world, and I've tried a bunch of them. I like the Martin Monells a lot, and they sound good on this thing too. Well, there you have it, folks. My airing my frustrations and issues with buying online, which, you know, you take your chances when you do that. I probably would have bought it anyway if I'd have seen it in real life, even though the tuners weren't what they were pictured. But it's just the idea that I didn't get what I thought I was going to get aesthetically. As far as the rest of the aesthetics, it's fine. It's pretty. It looks good. I like it. And it sounds great, so I guess I shouldn't complain a whole lot. But and the price was reduced to just over $600, shipped free with tax. You know, it was I can't complain in that regard. So if y'all get one, I hope you don't have to suffer the frustrations and issues that I have. But there you have it. I'm going to give it a favorable review for sound. I'm going to give it a less than favorable review paying attention to detail. From the seller and the manufacturer. It's uncalled for. It's not necessary, and it doesn't advance your cause at all. But I'll be doing some songs with this thing, and I hope they come across as well being recorded on my iPhone as they sound in real life. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you later.